We now know the names of everyone who was killed in that fiery multi-car crash in Windsor Hills. NBC4's Beverly White was at the memorial for one of the last people identified who died while driving with her best friend. Beverly?
This collision and inferno August 4th at La Brea and Slauson claimed 6 lives. Asher Ray Ryan, pregnant with son Armani, her infant son Alonzo, and fiancé Reynold Lester. At this vigil for a previously unidentified victim, family confirms 38-year-old Lynette Noble of L.A. was killed too, in a car with her best friend Natisha Lewis.
It's been shocking. We didn't find out till Sunday. It's been very shocking.
Organizers say Natisha Lewis's family stopped by here privately, was too distraught to attend the vigil. Lynette Noble's aunt flew out from Memphis, Tennessee to be here, where Lynette's father is in the hospital right now. That heartbroken aunt, Shirley Noble, did not speak at the vigil. She stood with Lynette's friend, Robbie Cross.
We were not aware that our friend and her niece was in one of the cars that was hit. We came out here to support all the other families, still not knowing that Lynette was one of the persons in that vehicle.
As for driver Nicole Linton, who survived the crash and now faces 6 murder charges, Robbie Cross addressed Linton's lawyer's claims of a mental health episode.
It's okay to say you have a problem, but what's not okay is for you to come plowing down the street at 100 miles per hour and decide to take someone else's life for it.
Aside from this photo, no details were revealed about victim Natisha Lewis. Lynette Noble, we're told, was a single working woman and a graduate of Crenshaw High, gone too soon and forever in the hearts of many.
We watched her grow into a beautiful woman, and she definitely didn't deserve to die like this.
Tonight, the last victim identified is being remembered by loved ones. KCAL9's Candace Crone is live in Windsor Hills now with more. Candace.
Well, relatives of 42-year-old Natisha Lewis had to use DNA to identify her because she was so badly burned from this crash. I want to give you a look at the growing memorial here. The coroner still hasn't officially released the victim's name, but family told me that they are heartbroken she was killed in such a horrific way.
Help us to help them.
Jasmine Nelson placed fresh flowers around her sister's picture, 42-year-old Natisha Lewis. She's the final victim identified in a horrific crash that killed 5 people and an unborn child at this intersection in Windsor Hills 1 week ago.
My sister has children that are mourning, that are not aware. And it's just so tragic. It's kind of unbelievable to even be having this conversation. My family is broken. We are grieving.
The loving mother of 6 was headed to the mall with her friend, 38-year-old Lynette Noble, who was driving when a speeding Mercedes-Benz slammed into their vehicle and others at the intersection of La Brea and Slauson. The 2 friends died in the fiery crash.
My only sister was the only sister that could not be identified like everybody else. That's why we here so late, because my sister was a Jane Doe because of what the actions Nicole Linton took. And we do want justice for our sister.
We're not only broken for Tisha, we're broken for all the families.
The violent collision also killed 23-year-old Asher Ray Ryan, her 11-month-old son Alonzo, her boyfriend Reynold Lester, and their unborn son she was carrying. Prosecutors charged 37-year-old Nicole Linton with 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of manslaughter. Authorities say the traveling nurse was going 90 miles an hour when she blew through a red light, hitting several cars. Lewis's family said they're standing with all the victims' friends and loved ones to see that justice is served.
I'm so sad that she died such a tragic death, and I just one day hope that we get answers. All I want to know is why. I just want to know why. That's it.
Now, Linton is currently being held on no bail. She is set to go before a judge on Monday for a bail review hearing.
A difficult time for them. These are family members who are just finding out that their loved ones were involved in that deadly crash. Right here you see a poster. This is of one of the victims, Lynette Noble. And these families are sharing now how they received the devastating news. I spoke with Jasmine Nelson. She is the sister of 43-year-old Natisha Lewis. This is what she had to say.
Initially, I looked at it how the world looked at it, right? Just seeing a horrific incident and sending out love to all the families, but to be called days later to say, you are involved, your sibling is involved. Wait a minute, this crash I saw in those burning cars, like that was my sister burning, and that has been very hard, and I've been struggling with that. because I see it every day, and I'm seeing her go to court, and I'm like looking at this like, this is the lady that murdered my sister. Like, it's just so hard to, and because it's so fresh for me, and my sister was not identified at the beginning, I'm still struggling, if that makes sense.
It's hard to deal with because we were not aware that our friend and her niece was in one of the cars that was hit. We came out here to support all the other families, still not knowing that Lynette was one of the persons in that vehicle. So it was very shocking.
And that was Robbie Cross. She's a friend of another victim just identified, Lynette Noble. Nathisha and Lynette were best friends. They were in the same car and they were on their way to go shopping that Thursday when they were struck and killed in that fiery crash that killed a total of 6 people. 37-year-old Nicole Linton has been charged with 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter. If convicted, she faces up to 90 years in prison. Fox 11 has obtained documents indicating Nicole Linton does not have a criminal record. In court on Monday, investigators claim Linton has a history of serious crashes across the United States. Also in court, one of her attorneys said they're looking into Linton's potential mental health issues. Of course, we will have a lot more on this tonight at 10 p.m. We'll be hearing from the victims, family members and friends. And of course, we're here at the site of the crash, and you can see that more people are bringing flowers. And one thing that was brought to our attention, you know, one person was talking about mental health and how this woman who caused this crash clearly needed mental health and somebody should have helped her. And another lady just came up to me and said, you know what? We're all traumatized. We're all living with all of this that's happened. We need mental health. Why isn't public health out here passing brochures saying we are offering counseling? Because everyone at this location, everyone who has seen that video over and over has been traumatized. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you.